We'll call the City Council meeting of the City of New Ulm to order. Item number 1 is the consent agenda. Councilors, what are your wishes?
I'll offer a motion to approve those.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion does carry. Section 2, public hearing. 2.1, public hearing for noise variance for New Ulm Chamber of Commerce Oktoberfest. At this time, we will have a public hearing. If anyone would like to be heard, please come and state your name and address for the record. And this public hearing is open.
Any comments to staff in writing or nothing?
No, and I think the hours are kind of what we have been approving now in the past.
Being nobody wants to be heard, I'm going to offer the resolution, close the public hearing, and authorize the request from the New Ulm Chamber of Commerce for a noise variance to permit amplified sound and music during Oktoberfest for the following: Friday, October 4, 2024, from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. on Minnesota Street in front of the B&L Bar between First North and Center Streets, and Saturday, October 5th, 2024, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Center Street in front of Kempski's between Broadway and Minnesota Streets, and from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. on Minnesota Street in front of the B&L Bar between First North and Center Streets.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Dr. Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, that motion carries. Item number 3.1, B&L Bar Alley Closure, liquor license extension for Car Rollin' and Oktoberfest.
I'll offer the resolution to temporarily close the alley adjacent to the B&L Bar for the following events: Car Rollin', Saturday, September 14th, 2024, beginning at 8 a.m. until 2 a.m. On Sunday, September 15th, 2024. Oktoberfest, Friday, October 4th, 2024, beginning at 4 p.m. until 2 a.m. on Sunday, October 6th, 2024. Oktoberfest, Friday, October 11th, 2024, 4 p.m. to 2 a.m., Sunday, October 13th, alley only, and authorize the extension of the B&L liquor license into said closed alley areas on the requested dates and into the streets as follows: Car Rollin', North Minnesota Street between 3rd North and 1st South Streets, Saturday, September 14th, beginning at 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Oktoberfest, first weekend, North Minnesota Street between First North and Center Street on Friday, October 4, 2024, beginning at 4 p.m. until 2 a.m. On Sunday, October 6th, Center Street between Broadway and Minnesota Streets, including the intersection of Minnesota and Center Streets, on Saturday, October 5th, 2024, beginning at 4 p.m. until 8 p.m., subject to conditions.
Second.
Thank you. Well done, Counselor Warmka. Any additional discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, that motion does carry. Item number 3.2, Mowens Bar Liquor Extension License, Car Rollin' and Oktoberfest.
I'll offer the resolution to authorize the extension of Mounds Bar liquor license into Minnesota Street for the following events to allow alcohol to be consumed subject to conditions: Car Rollin', North Minnesota Street between 3rd North to 1st South Streets, Saturday, September 14th, 2024, beginning at 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Oktoberfest, first weekend, North Minnesota Street between 1st North to Center Street on Friday, October 4th, 2024, beginning at 4 p.m. until 2 a.m. On Sunday, October 6th, 2024, Center Street between Broadway and Minnesota Streets, including the intersection of Minnesota and Center Streets, on Saturday, October 5th, 2024, beginning at 4 p.m. until 8 p.m., subject to conditions.
Second.
Thank you. We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
And President Becker?
Yes, motion carries. Item number 3.3, temporary liquor license for State Street Theater Company.
I'll take this one since it's shorter. I'll offer a motion to approve the issuance of a temporary on-sale intoxicating liquor license for State Street Theater, 1 North State Street, for an event to be held Saturday, November 9th, 2024, subject to compliance with all city and state requirements.
Second.
We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion does carry. Item number 3.4, tree service license.
I'll make a motion to approve the issuance of a tree service license for Joe's Lawn Care Tree and Snow Removal LLC, owned by Joe Harvey, 933 3rd Avenue, Wyndham, Minnesota, for the period beginning September 3rd, 2024, ending June 30th, 2025, subject to compliance with all city and state requirements.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That item carries. Number 3.5, tree service license as well.
I'll offer a motion to approve the issuance of tree service license for Randall's Tree Service, owned by Tad Randall, 20446 510th Avenue, Lake Crystal, Minnesota, for the period beginning September 3rd, 2024, ending June 30th, 2025, subject to compliance with all city and state requirements.
Second.
We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion does carry. Moving on to reports, item 4.1, a conditional use permit for August Shell Brewing Company. Mr. Nisley.
Good evening, Council President, Councilors. John Isley, planner at the City of New Ulm. Sure. This item is to offer a resolution to approve the conditional use permit with conditions to allow August Shell Brewing Company to operate indoor and outdoor entertainment / recreational uses on property zoned I-2. That's the general industrial zoning district. Planning Commission at its August 29th meeting unanimously recommended approval with conditions of the conditional use permit request. So very brief overview. The purpose of the I-2 General Industrial District in New Ulm is to provide for locations that have a wide variety of more intense manufacturing and industrial land uses, which, because of the nature of the product or character of the activity, should be located in areas that minimize their impacts on neighboring properties and less residential business and commercial and industrial land uses. The applicant, August Shell Brewing, is proposing to use existing indoor and outdoor space for holding seasonal events and entertainment. That is at the Star Keller property located on the north end of New Ulm. The proposed spaces and the locations where they'd like to use outdoors, some of the outdoor spaces are in your attachment. It includes the big field area that currently is planted into pumpkins, some parts of the paved parking area, and then they would have some overflow parking on what looks like the grassy area on the map as well. They do have to keep a fire lane open to get from North Highland Avenue all the way back to the field area, and that was reviewed by the city's fire chief. They want to host more family-oriented events, such as having pumpkin events, corn mazes, kind of fall events out on the property, maybe food trucks, vendor fairs, etc., possibly music, beanbag tournaments, and pickleball. Indoor, they would keep the layout the same. It includes a large warehousing area to the north and east, but they would still use the tap room area, which is the Star Keller, for private events, tap room, music, and keep their golf simulator. So permitted uses in the I-2 zoning district include a combination of public, institutional, and commercial and industrial uses. With the conditional use permit, a wider range of public and institutional, commercial, and industrial uses are permitted. Indoor and outdoor entertainment / recreation is permitted with a conditional use permit in the I-2 zoning district. Allowing this use does not prohibit surrounding I-2 properties to develop as permitted into the future, meaning that someone wants to do some heavier manufacturing in the I-2 district and that zoning district is in the area, they're allowed to go ahead and do so regardless of this conditional use permit. The applicant would have to comply with the city's noise regulations as well as lighting standards found in our zoning regulations. They would also be required to clean up any debris, garbage, that type of thing that might accumulate or blow off the property from events they might hold on the property. The Planning Commission recommended approval with 5 conditions. 1, that the applicant / property owner will pay the cost to record the permit with the Brown County Recorder's Office. 2, the applicant will maintain necessary state and federal licenses to operate the brewery, dispense alcohol, and conduct events. 3, uses on the property shall comply with the City of New Ulm's noise restrictions regulations found in Section 8.08 of the City Code. 4, event parking shall take place on the site to the greatest extent possible while maintaining proper fire safety lanes on the property, 5, traffic control, if necessary, will be conducted by the property owners on the property. There was an additional condition recommended by staff that came in after the Planning Commission meeting, and that is any additional impervious surface to be added to the site will require that the application install on-site stormwater treatment. Right now, it's our understanding that they are right at that threshold. If they add any more impervious surface, it would trigger stormwater management on the site. And that's been reviewed with the city engineer. Notice was sent out to surrounding property owners and noticed in the paper, and to date, staff has not received any comment regarding this application. That concludes the staff report.
As far as you know, are they still using it for any industrial uses? The Starkeller building, are they still producing out of it, or will they plan on it?
It sounds like they can still use it as a brewery. It's still licensed as a brewery out there. They didn't indicate that they had stopped producing any of their sour beers. They do use all of the warehousing space and intend to use that a little bit more into the future. So,
I've got a question, maybe a fire chief or building official. When that building was built, its intended use, if we go more to this event-type center, does the sprinkler system kick in? I believe we had talked about that years back, because now I like the idea, I like what they're doing, but just so they're aware of those items.
Elwood Zabel building official, they're aware that they are at capacity now with their 99 in the tap room. If they want to expand on that, then they would have to comply with code.
So they're aware of that if we do a pickle or a beanbag tournament inside, 300 people, this place is gonna get sprinkled.
Well, they'd have to deal with that if they're going to plan
Right.
on doing anything in the warehouse area, yep.
Okay.
Yep. John, my question is on condition number 4. They're talking about vendor fairs, food trucks, pickleball tournaments. So some of these things could be in music. These could be really large events. And so how much parking is available in that, on the parking lot plus in the grass? Is there enough, or is it going to be all down that street? And it's a wide street, I know that, but can you talk a little bit about that?
yeah, there's quite, so if they were to not take any of their blacktop parking spaces up with any vendors or anything like that, they'd have 75 parking stalls there. When you add in the vendor areas that we show on attachment 4, we lose about 38 stalls, and I think we'd have about 29 left. But if you were to park on the grassy areas that are outlined in the map, which you can park on, we could
Right.
add another 110 car areas to park. So total, even if they were to fill up the vendors that they're talking about, we're probably looking somewhere in the neighborhood of 150 parking stalls on the site,
Off-street parking.
street parking.
And on-street parking, I mean, it's quite a distance before it comes to residential
Any
area
residential.
or anything that
Yeah,
would
yeah.
affect, I mean.
And it is a wide
Very
street,
wide,
I'm
nice
just-
streets, so.
What I really like about the idea, other counselors, we just came from a meeting. Let's try it and give the people what they want. That's what they're asking for.
Sure, yeah,
I mean-
absolutely.
I think it's a fantastic use of that space, so
Right.
I'll go ahead and offer the resolution and approve a conditional use permit with the conditions to allow August Shell Brewing Company to operate indoor and outdoor entertainment recreational uses on property zoned I-2 General Industrial District.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion?
The conditions are also the one that you included, correct?
Correct, yep.
All right. Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack? Yes. Counselor Christian? Yes. Counselor Schultz?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Nicely. Item 4.2, preliminary plot of Korth's third subdivision. Mr. Schnobrick.
Okay, Madam President, members of the City Council, the Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of this plat with conditions at their August 29th meeting. This particular piece of property was annexed into the city in 2003. The applicant and property owner for the plat is Shelley Winter. The legal description of the property is currently Lot 3, Block 1, Court Subdivision. The street address is 16065 Casey Road. The property abuts North Highland Avenue on the east and is located south of the Casey Road and west of Huffman Road. The zoning of the property is currently R1, which is a single-family residence district. Status of utilities. Utilities are located in North Highland Avenue and the Casey Road. The existing house has a well and septic system. One set of services has been extended into the future Lot 2, and the approximate locations of the utilities is provided on the plat drawing. The platted area totals 2.75 acres. The plat will divide the property into 2 lots. Both lots will have the required amount of frontage on North Highland Avenue. The 2 lots, one will be 1.75 acres and the other will be 1 acre, so they're more than meet our lot area requirements. Those are large lots. So the lots comply with our standards for the R1 zoning district. As noted previously, there is one set of services extended into the property, and these services will be used by the dwelling to be built on Lot 2. Lot 1 will continue to use a septic system and well, and when the septic system no longer works properly, the house will need to connect to the city's sanitary sewer system. Conditions that were recommended for approval include the following. Pay the platting fee of $260, base fee of $200, and $30 per lot. Pay the parkland dedication fee of $350 for the one undeveloped lot. Number 3, provide an electronic file of the plat in an AutoCAD 2016 or newer format. Number 4, Lot 2 will pay the utility connection charge for a new lot of $3,000 for sanitary sewer and $3,000 for water main as found in the city's current fee schedule. And then the property must also pay a $1,400 charge as an area-wide connection fee for lots served by a 1993 sanitary sewer lift station project. The 5th condition is that in addition to the easement areas that are shown on the plat, they will also provide a 20-foot wide easement on the south property line for Lot 2. The report says Lot 1 and 2, it'll just be Lot 2. And then the second easement that is requested is 10 feet on the north property line of Lot 2. That would conclude the staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Schnobrick.
Question, Dave, this must be an older plat where I'm drawing because I'm not seeing the new highway, the new
Boundary Street.
boundary street.
Well, the North Highland Avenue is shown on the
It's on the east
Document.
side of the document.
Okay, there, okay, got it. Thank you.
Where would entry be? Would it be off of Highland?
yes.
Okay.
Right now, the existing house has access to the Casey Road, but that's through a series of easements that they previously acquired. And so legally, they have to have frontage on a public street. And that's going to be North Highland Avenue.
Got you.
Dave, you mentioned they have to connect to city sewer once their system goes bad. How do we monitor that?
We
Water
have an
system?
arrangement with Brown County.
Okay.
that they do the actual
permits.
inspections of those
Okay.
systems, determine their suitability upon sale normally and we have advised them that any systems that are located in the city of New Ulm, that we want to be contacted as to their condition.
I knew there had to be a way. With that, as if there's any other questions, I'll go ahead and offer a motion to approve with the recommended conditions, the preliminary plat of Course Third subdivision abutting North Highland Avenue on the east and is located on the south of the KC Road and west of Hoffman Road.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion does carry. Thank you. Item number 4.3, preliminary plat of South Point Financial Addition.
All right. So I will summarize the South Point Financial Addition to the best of my ability here. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval with conditions at their August 29th, 2024 meeting. You may all recall in late August, that the Planning Commission recommended approval of a rezoning for a piece of property for South Point Financial. This is the same property that we are talking about. The rezoning was for a property that was described by a meets and bounds description. The city subdivision regulations don't allow for a meets and bounds description. So one of the conditions we tied to the rezoning of the property is that they plat the property to meet the city subdivision regulations, and therefore we have the plat here today. We have included the staff report and then the three proposed conditions. Condition one was to pay the platting fee of $230 and a base fee of $200 and $30 per lot. Two is to provide an electronic file of the plat in AutoCAD 2016 or newer format. And three, the property would be exempt from paying the city's parkland dedication fee since the property is undevelopable. It's a 6,444 square foot lot. Our regular lot sizes in that zoning district are 8,250 square feet, so it's quite a bit under that. It'd be almost impossible to fit a house on that property to meet the setbacks. So South Point's going to be using the property for employee parking, 5 to 6 parking stalls along the alley, and then for snow storage during the winter. That concludes the staff report.
Thanks, Mr. Nicely.
Motion to approve with conditions the preliminary plat of South Point Financial Addition located west of North Spring and north of US Highway 14 and 15, street address 7th North Street.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
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 Opposed? That motion does carry. Item number 4.4, preliminary plat of Wells subdivision. Once again, Mr. Schnobrick.
Okay, the Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval with conditions, this request at their August 29th meeting. I would note that this property is in the process of being annexed into the city. The applicant property owner is Adam and Shauna Wells. The current legal description of the property is part of the northeast quarter of the northeast quarter, section 13, township 110, range 31. Street address is 2312 North Highland Avenue. The property abuts North Highland Avenue on the east and is located north of Lake Avenue and west of 23rd North Street. The proposed plat involves establishment of 5 lots. Of those 5 lots, lots 2 through 5 will be zoned R1, single-family residence district, and Lot 1 will be zoned R3, which is a medium-density residence district. And those rezonings or zoning would be based on what our current comprehensive plan calls for those properties. Utilities are located in North Highland Avenue, and that's how the lots will be served. The platted area totals 5.46 acres. And that's approximately 2 blocks in the Gridiron part of the city. The lots, their size, Lot 1, which is the R3 zoned lot, will be 1.9 acres. The R1 zoned lots will be 1.25, that's Lot 2. Lot 3 is 1 acre, Lot 4 is 0.66, as is Lot 5. I would note that there is an existing residence on Lot 3. All 5 lots comply with the city's zoning standards for the R1 or R3 zoning districts. The conditions for approval, number 1 is pay the plating fee of $350. Again, a base fee of $200 and then $30 per lot. Pay the parkland dedication fee of $1,750, and that is for the 5 new lots. Provide an electronic file of the plat. Number 4 is to rezone the property to R1 and R3, and actually, we won't go through the typical rezoning process. We will include the rezoning in the resolution that annexes the property into the city, as we have done in the past. Again, they will pay the per lot utility connection charge for lot 1, 2, 4, and 5. So it's $3,000 for sanitary sewer, $3,000 for water. That's again as found in our current fee schedule, and then also the $1,400 charge for the sanitary sewer lift station project. I would note that Lot 3 is missing from our list of lots there, and that's because they currently are connected to our system, and they have paid the required charges that are listed here. Prior to the last item or condition is prior to the recording of the plat, the applicant shall complete annexation of the property into the city. That would conclude the staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Schnobrecht.
Dave, quick question. Does Mr. Wells, does he own Lot 3 as well? The house that's already established there?
He's in the process of selling that lot, actually to the current resident that is
Okay.
there.
And they did connect to the city storm and
Yes.
did not destroy the roads, the curbs, the bike trail?
Actually, the city had previously extended one set of services into the lot.
Wondering
So
how that went so smooth.
Now we're gonna do 4 times.
Fortunately, yes, that's would be
into
the
a brand new
situation.
highway.
Madam President, City Councilors, at the time of construction of that project, we knew the existing septic system on the property was close to failure, and then at that time, the current owners at that time didn't want anything else stubbed in, so we took it upon ourselves to stub that in the set of services, at least for the home that was there, knowing at some point in the future it would be needed, so we didn't anticipate this being platted with 4 additional lots at that time, so.
Commend him. He's done a fantastic job of cleaning that whole area up, and it's going to be welcome to see that many new houses being built on that stretch of road. Good thing we kept the speed limit 30.
Sorry.
But, so I'll go ahead and approve with conditions the preliminary plot of the Wells subdivision abutting North Highland Avenue on the east and is located north of Lake Avenue and west of 23rd North Street.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That does carry. Under old business, item 5.1 is a MnDOT Office of Aeronautics grant agreement for the apron expansion at the airport. Ooh.
Madam President, City Councilors, this is the supplementary state grant that it will go in conjunction with the previous federal grant that you approved at the last meeting. So this grant will fund an additional 5% of this project design engineering services.
We'll take it. I'll offer a resolution approving the MnDOT Office of Aeronautics Grant Agreement, number 1057853, and authorize the city manager Finance Director to execute the agreement on and behalf of the City of New Ulm.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, that motion does carry. Item number 5.2 is a mutual waiver notice rights for an annexation. Mr. Schnobrecht?
Okay. We're back talking about the property that is being platted as the Wells subdivision, and this concerns the annexation process. Now, Minnesota state statutes establishes a process to annex property, and it can be found in section 414.0325. The process specifies certain timeframes for certain events, and I'd like to review those briefly with the council. The first event is when an owner of property outside of the city sends a letter to the city advising us that it is their intent to annex property into the city, and they can do so, but have to then wait 60 days from when we receive that particular communication. Okay, 30 days prior to the anticipated submittal date for the annexation petition, the city is required to do a comparison of electric service rates and costs and potential assessments, and we are to provide those for both the city's electric service provider and compare it to the current service provider. And so in this particular case, it would be the Brown County REA. Now, we are allowed to issue or agree to a waiver with the applicant who is requesting the annexation and to reduce that time frame. And that's what we're proposing to do with this document. And so if that is approved by the city council, the applicant or the property owner has already signed the waiver, then we would consider the annexation at your next meeting. So that would conclude the staff report unless if you have some questions.
Got no questions, and we've pretty much covered it now with these particular properties. So I'm going to offer the resolution, approve the mutual waiver of sanitary notice rights under Minnesota statute 414.0325 sub 1A between the City of New Ulm and Adam Wells and Shannon L. Wells to facilitate annexation of the property generally located at 2312 North Highland Avenue.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, that motion carries. Under new business, item number 6.1 is attendance at the 2024 NLC City Summit Conference.
I'll offer a motion to approve the following to attend the 2024 National League of Cities City Summit Conference in Tampa, Florida from November 13th to November 16th, 2024. City Manager Chris Dalton, Councilor President Andrea Betker, Councilor Dave Christian, and Councilor Eric Warmka.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That motion does carry. Item number 6.2, Rural Welcoming Initiative Welcoming Week Stipend. Chris, I think you have this one.
This is just a receive and order file from Welcoming America, Inc. Human Rights Commission was awarded $500 or will get a $500 stipend to coordinate and implement, Welcoming Week, which is September 13th through the 22nd.
Make a motion to receive and order file the contract for services between Welcoming America, Inc. and the City of New Ulm to receive a stipend in the amount of $500 to be used towards the Rural Welcoming Initiative Welcoming Week event, September 13th to the 22nd, 2024, and will be organized by the Human Rights Commission.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That does carry. Item 6.3, use of parking stalls by Human Rights Commission for Welcoming Week event.
Well, let's give them a place to park. So authorize the use of 30 parking stalls by the Human Rights Commission located in the 2nd North and Broadway Street parking lot adjacent to City Hall to hold Welcoming Week event on Friday, September 20th, 2024 from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m.
I'll second.
You, we do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion?
Even need to approve them? It's after hours anyway.
Well, they're going to need to close it sooner because they're going to have the food truck set up.
Oh, okay,
So
sure. All right.
Human Rights Commission is going to have to go out. They'll kind of contact the businesses that use that parking lot on a regular basis because they'll probably close it somewhere between 1 to 3 and put notice signs out there saying, hey, don't park here between those hours.
All right, thank you.
Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion does carry. Item number 6.4, the 2023/2024 delinquent water, wastewater, and stormwater assessments.
Counselors, this is just an annual request that we started a couple years ago by assessing any outstanding water and sewer charges that we haven't been able to collect from property owners. The list will be finished and finalized, and notices will be sent to the property owners that are affected, and the list will be available at the public hearing in October.
So we're just setting a public hearing date and time. So I'll offer a motion to approve establishing a special assessment for 23-24 delinquent water, wastewater, stormwater assessments and set a date for a public hearing for Tuesday, October 1st, 2024, exactly at 4:30 p.m.
We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 6.5, 2023/2024 weed and tree removal and property repair assessments.
Motion to approve establishing a special assessment for 2023-2024 weed and tree removal charges and property repair charges and set the date for a public hearing on Tuesday, October 1st, 2024 at 4:30, maybe 4:35.
I'll second.
We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
That motion does carry. Item number 6.6, reassessment of unpaid 2007 special assessment.
Well, as we set our agenda for October 1st, I'm going to approve the reassessment of the 2007 Utility Street Alley Improvement Assessments in the amount of $15,921.51 on Lot 13, Block 4, Dakota West Edition, and set the public hearing date for Tuesday, October 1, 2024.
Second.
We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
That motion also carries. Item number 6.7, reassessment of unpaid special assessments.
Assessments, assessments, and reassessments. I'll offer a motion to approve the reassessment of 2017 surface reconstruction project 2017 through 2020 removal charges and 2022 wastewater charges amount of $3,685.57 on Lot 7, Block 55, south of Center, and set a date for public hearing for Tuesday, October 1st, 2024.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries also. Item number 6.8, first consideration of ordinance amending Chapter 4 of the City Code.
Counselors, this is related to the sale of tobacco. Currently in the chart or in the code, an individual that works at a business, if they are caught selling tobacco to someone under the age of 21, in addition to all of the other fees and fines and things that they go through with the courts, we have in the past charged a $50 administrative fee to those people. That fee doesn't happen until after everything else happens, so it ends up being months after by the time they've gone through court and everything, and then they've paid those related fees and fines, and then they get this fee and they're going, well, what is this for? Because we're also charging the business a much larger amount than what we were charging the individuals. So we are just requesting to remove that administrative fee from the code.
Do we charge for underage consumption, folks?
For the sale of alcohol, I think it's the same.
Do
I'm
we
not
charge that $50
sure.
fee?
I'm not sure. No?
Chief.
So basically, some language cleanup
Yeah.
and administration.
Yeah.
How much revenue is it? We're talking like nothing, right?
Like $100 a year.
$50 a year. I mean, there are not that many people that fail the compliance checks.
Well, with that, I'm going to
Your turn, Dave. Come on, speak up.
for a motion to conduct a first consideration of ordinance for the city of New Ulm, Brown County, Minnesota, amending Chapter 4, Section 4.34, Subdivision 11 of the City Code, removing administration penalty for individuals selling tobacco to persons under age of 21.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
That motion carries. Item number 6.9, appointment to Monuments and Cemetery Commission.
Can't think of a better person to take that role, so I'll make a motion to approve the appointment of Darla Gebhardt to the Monuments and Cemetery Commission to fill the unexpired term of James Hogan.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
That motion carries. Welcome, Darla. Item number 6.10, parking enforcement vehicle purchase.
President Betker, members of the council, Dave Walker, Chief of Police for the City of New Ulm. In front of you, just in the interest of time, I'll just summarize. We purchased a parking enforcement vehicle that had gone over budget. I had been in front of you earlier requesting permission to make that purchase. And with that purchase, we had gone over by $1,385. Now we have the vehicle. It looks really good, but we have to do some upfitting. So in front of you, there's a request that would total $4,205.90. That would include some amber safety lighting and with labor and with the equipment, that'd be $3,107.90. And then floor mats of $100, truck box cover, $499, and then step package of $499, which would again be $4,205.90, with a total of everything, including the vehicle, would have been $5,590. So the reason I'm in front of you, I mean, once you're over budget, you're over budget. It's a relatively small amount, but it is what it is. So I need council permission and authorization to make those purchases.
I don't
There's
have an
any-
issue with it. I mean, you've got ample of money in the 2020 parking system account. I'll authorize New Ulm Parking Enforcement to purchase equipment for functionality of the newly purchased 2024 Chevy Colorado parking enforcement vehicle in the amount of $4,205.90. Do you want the outline read into or not? All right.
I'll second.
Thank you. We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion does carry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Item number 6.11, Fire Department donation.
I'll offer a motion to accept a $500 donation to the fire department from Marilyn Reinhardt.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion?
Thank you, Marilyn.
Yes, thank you, Marilyn. Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Christian?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, that motion does carry. Item number 7.1 is claims and estimates, report of claims paid.
I'll make a motion to accept the list of claims paid in the amount of $5,537,076.99.
Second.
We do have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion does carry. And with no additional business today, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Time.